And we're back. So gonna have to figure out how to edit out my first cuss word. Gonna try to keep my channel PG rated, even though if you guys know me, I'm not PG at all. Kind of swear like a trucker. Thanks, Mom. Anyways, so considering everything I went through to get here today, I figured today's video could be on 10 traveling tips that you guys don't know. I know there's a ton of tips and tricks and packing hacks and all that out there, and I'd like to think of myself as a seasoned traveler. I fly quite a bit for work, so over the years I've kind of picked up a list of things that I do that make traveling a little bit easier. Most of these things I feel like a lot of the general public don't know or just aren't aware of, so I want to share them with you guys. But first, let me give you kind of a quick rundown of what today took for me to get here. So I left Utah at, well, my flight was supposed to leave at, I think, 9 o'clock this morning, and I didn't end up leaving until 9:35-ish. So usually delays aren't that big of a deal. I have enough of a layover, if I have a layover at all, that I've never, knock on wood, even to this day, I've never missed a flight, never missed a connecting flight, nothing. Like, I have always made my flights on time. I've never even had to run through an airport. So today was stressful, let me tell you. So I get into Detroit. I was supposed to get into Detroit at 3:10. My next flight was supposed to leave at 3:54. Well, our delay put us, estimated getting us in at 3:30. And then usually the gates close anywhere from like 10 to 15 minutes before. So you can't, even though your flight doesn't leave till 3:54, they won't let you on after 3:40. Like, I even got a text through my app and everything that said this. So my whole flight, the whole first flight, I was getting these text messages and updates to be like, hey, your flight's delayed, like rebook your flight, rebook your flight. And I'm sitting there, I'm like talking to the flight attendant, I'm talking, like texting my dad, my boyfriend, like trying to figure out if I should chance it. Because essentially, after I did like all the research and stuff, I was gonna have like 10 minutes from the time I landed in Detroit to get off the plane and then get to my connecting flight. So basically the flight attendant was like, just go for it, because even if you end up missing that flight, they'll rebook you and like no issues, whatever. So I'm like, all right, as we're getting closer and closer to Detroit, like the time's creeping back farther and farther and farther. But I still decided I'm gonna go for it because the next flight wasn't gonna leave Detroit for like 5 more hours, and I did not want to sit in the airport for 5 to 6 hours. So we land, and even over the loudspeaker, they're like, hey, there's a couple people on this flight that are like on the verge of missing their connecting flights. Like, please keep the aisles clear to allow these people to get off. So a couple of us stand up like as soon as the plane lands, and then we're standing around because like no one's moving to get off the plane. And then finally they come back over the loudspeaker and they're like, oh, the pilot didn't pull up to the gate all the way, so we have to wait for one of those little carts to pull us up to the gate. It's gonna be a couple more minutes. And literally I'm like constantly looking at my watch and my phone because I am like running down to the seconds at this point. And I'll save this story for another time, but like almost got into it with the chick in front of me. Like we were about to bring some Chicago Lauren out. Anyways, so as I'm like standing waiting for them to like get the little pulley truck thing up, I get a notification that they have already, like Delta's automatically rebooked me on the later flight because they assumed that, you know, since I hadn't checked in yet, because by this time, since we had already landed, my next flight had already been boarding for 20 minutes. So they had assumed that I was not gonna make that flight, so they rebooked me on the later flight. Fine, whatever. At this point, at least I like am not really wondering if I'm gonna make the flight or not. Like, I calmed down a little bit, but still in the back of my mind, I'm like, well, where's my bag gonna go? Is my bag gonna get on the original flight, or is it gonna get on this later flight with me? Because once I got to Philadelphia, I have to drive 2 hours to my destination. And so I'm like, all right, one problem solved. Now what are we gonna do about my bag? So I'm like wondering about all this, and finally we start deplaning. It's no joke, it's like 3:48. So my original flight's supposed to take off in 6 minutes. I'm already booked on a new flight. I'm like, all right, well, I'm just gonna go talk to like some Delta person and ask them about my bag, because I don't know where my bag's gonna be. So as I get off the plane, I see that my my original gate that I was supposed to connect at is not that far away. I'm like, well, I'll just go talk to that gate agent. As I'm like walking from a distance, I see that she's still there and the door is still open. So at this point, I take off into a sprint. Like, I have never ran before in my life, ran that fast before in my life. And like, I used to be a runner. So I like sprint up to the gate. As I'm running up there, like I hear her on the speaker, like paging somebody. I'm just assuming she's paging my name. I don't know why. I guess that's the narcissist in me, whatever. So I get up, I'm like, oh my gosh, like, can I still board? Can I still board? She's like, yeah, like, we've been calling you. Where's your other 3 passengers? And I'm like looking around me like, what? She's like, you've got 3 in your family with you, don't you? I was like, no, but I was supposed to be on this flight. Like, can I still get on this flight? Please let me get on this flight. She's like, what's your name, hun? I gave it to her. She pulls me up and she's not even really saying anything. She's typing a bunch of weird characters and shit. Like, I'm looking over her shoulder and she's like, get on. Go pick any seat you want. So I board my original flight and I get in Delta Comfort, which if you guys fly often, you know, that's like more legroom, upgraded snacks, which are like key, and then free drinks. So not only did I make my original flight, they rebooked me on my original flight, but I got a really great seat. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, all right, this is freaking badass. So I'm like filming this story on Instagram, and as I get to the slide where I'm putting, well, I made it, but did my bag, as I'm writing that screen, I get the notification down from the top of my phone, and it says your bag was loaded on the plane. So I'm on the plane, my bag's on the plane, I get in, I'm here, I'm in my hotel room, and I am happy. So still to this day, I've not missed a flight, knock on wood. Okay, so anyways, I'm gonna try to keep my videos around 15 minutes, and it looks like that just took about 7. So I'm gonna fly through these tips for you guys. If you have any questions, please feel free to like reach out and ask me, and then I'm gonna be talking about some links, so I'll make sure that I link those down below for you guys so you can take a look at those. But also, P.S. I'm already in my pajamas and no makeup on, so yeah, just bear with me. Okay, so tip number 1 is SeatGuru. So SeatGuru is a website that you can go to and plug in what type of plane you're going to be on. So as long as you know your flight number, you can look up, just Google search what type of plane that flight number is on. And then you go to SeatGuru, plug that in. And basically what SeatGuru does is shows you where on the plane you're going to be sitting, obviously, but also how much legroom you have. And then also like how wide your seat is. Obviously, if you're a window or an aisle seat, but this can come in really handy because on some of the newer planes, if you are lucky enough to get an exit row seat, sometimes those seats don't recline, which if you're doing an international flight or a long haul flight, having having an emergency exit row seat might not be the best thing because you cannot recline. And if you can sleep on planes, that might be an issue for you. So SeatGuru.com, super useful. Also, by the way, these 10 tips are not in any like specific order. It's just the list I made. So I don't think one thing is more important than the other. But that being said, my next tip is if you can afford it, TSA PreCheck. It's $85 and it lasts for 5 years. And basically what you do is you fill out this application online and then you need to go bring it in to a government official. So they usually have a little TSA office in any airport, or I think they might even do some of anyways, you have to fill this out and bring it in and do a really short interview. So I think the interviews take like 10 minutes. And like I said, I did mine at my airport. And I know that there's a couple other locations you can also do it at. But basically what TSA PreCheck does is gives you like security clearance at the airport so you can go through the TSA PreCheck line, which 98% of the time, I never have more than 4 people in front of me in line. So I am flying through security. And also with TSA PreCheck, you don't have to take off your shoes. You don't have to take off your sweaters. You don't have to pull your laptops out of your bag, nothing. So you get through security so much faster. In fact, because I fly so much, I'm also status with Delta, but TSA PreCheck, dude, it is always so much faster than any other line I've ever gone through. So, and again, it's good for 5 years. So super awesome to have. And oh, something else about it, if you book a companion on a flight with you and you are TSA PreCheck, they also get to have TSA PreCheck status for those flights that you've booked with you, if that makes sense. So if you're booking a flight and like you book your husband or wife with you and you have TSA PreCheck and they don't, they will get it since they're flying with you on your agenda. Okay, so number 3, I always recommend downloading whatever carrier of your choices app is. So I typically fly Delta. So on the Delta app, you can see where your seat is, change your seat, and upgrade your seat if you want to. And then also a really good feature they have is it tells you what amenities are on your plane. So if you are kind of curious if there's going to be food service, or what I have found most important is it tells you if you're going to have a TV and Wi-Fi or not. So that'll kind of just enable you to plan a little bit better, like if you need to bring a book or headphones, and obviously it has your boarding pass on there too, which is really nice. So that kind of brings me to my next point, number 4, is headphones. So nowadays, a lot of people, obviously, even with the new iPhones and stuff, not a lot of people use the headphone jacks anymore. Everybody's using the wireless headphones, but the planes have not quite adapted to that yet. So you need to make sure you still have a pair of wired headphones with you, because if you get on that plane and you have a TV and only your wireless headphones, you're gonna be really upset that you can't watch TV if you were planning to. However, some of the airlines now are selling them online. So I know Delta, for example, they have headphones for sale for $2. So, I mean, that's always like kind of a last resort for me, because they're super uncomfortable and they're just really cheap and crappy and they hurt. And anyways, just don't forget your headphones. Something else you don't want to forget, this happened to me on my second flight today, snacks. Bring some freaking snacks, because I was traveling since 8 o'clock this morning, and then my first flight, I had breakfast before I got on the plane, and then I denied the snack, and then obviously because I was running so late, I didn't have time to grab lunch in Detroit, so I straight went on my next flight. My second flight, the turbulence was so bad, the flight attendants were not allowed to get up at all the entire flight. So there was no beverage service, no snacks, nothing. And I went like 10 hours today without eating, and I was starving. So in fact, my Uber Eats just got here. So as soon as I finish this video, I'm gonna eat. But bring snacks, extra snacks, so awesome. Number 6, T-Mobile free Wi-Fi. So I'm sorry to be T-Mobile exclusive, but if you are a T-Mobile customer, a lot of people don't know this, you get a free 1 hour of Wi-Fi on any Delta flight. So all you have to do is sign into their GoGo Wi-Fi service. The website is located on one of those little placky things in the back of the seat. So if it doesn't automatically pull up for you, you can see what website to go to back there. And then on the screen, it gives you all the options to sign into your Wi-Fi account, to buy Wi-Fi, or if you're a T-Mobile customer, to log in to get your free hour. So I'm pretty sure that's something that's new to the last year or two, and it's been a really awesome feature, because fortunately, I am a T-Mobile customer, so I always have free Wi-Fi. But also, Vince lets me use his login account too. So Vince, if you're watching this, thank you. Number 7, Delta Comfort. So I think I told you guys my second flight today, I got to choose any seat I wanted, which was really nice. And so I sat in Delta Comfort. A lot of people don't know, including the dudes in front of me who tried to buy me a drink, you get free drinks in Delta Comfort. So I'm not really a big drinker, but once in a while, a glass of wine or mimosa, whatever, you get free alcoholic beverages and upgraded snacks in Delta Comfort. So that's awesome. Number 8. So this one's a little bit sneaky, and if you work for any airlines, you might be mad at me for saying this, but sometimes, no, not even sometimes, I would say 3 out of 4 times on my flights, they're overbooked. So by the time I get to my gate and they're starting the boarding process, they have too many carry-on bags. So a lot of the times they will offer to check your carry-on bag for free, and they look for volunteers. So if you have a bigger carry-on bag and it doesn't fit in the little tiny thingamabob, and you offer to have your bag checked, not only will they check your bag for free, and obviously it'll be waiting for you in baggage claim, but they'll upgrade you to priority boarding as well. So you get a free checked bag and priority boarding just for offering to check your bag. I know Delta does this a lot, so I'm not sure about any other airlines, but on both of my flights today, they were checking people's carry-on bags for free, which is kind of a nice feature, I guess, if you have a bigger personal item and you don't want to carry your roller bag as well. Number 9. So after all of my flights, usually a day or 2 later, I get a survey in my email, and always take your surveys. If you have 5 minutes to do it, just freaking do it, because if you do 2 or 3, you'll end up getting sometimes free miles, free drinks, free meal tickets, and free upgrades just from doing these surveys. So I always do my surveys. Oh, we're at our last one. So number 10, and actually probably out of all of my tips and tricks, this one might be the most well known, but if you're gonna be flying with a friend or family, always book their ticket with yours. Because if either one of you has status or TSA PreCheck, again, all of those kind of upgrades and amenities will get put on their ticket as well, which is kind of super awesome. I just got back from Mexico with my boyfriend, and not only did he get to go through TSA PreCheck for most of our flights, but when I was upgraded to Delta Comfort, he was too. So hopefully he appreciated that. But I think that's about it. Sorry if I talked a little bit fast. Again, I'm trying to kind of try to keep this down. I think we're gonna probably approach 20 minutes, but also, again, I'm sorry for like all the shaking too. If you guys could see how I have this set up, actually, maybe I'll show you. So I am obviously in my hotel room. Can I turn this around while I'm recording? I don't know if I can. Okay, well anyways, I have this on this little bin I had to bring for work, and then I picked up some Entenmann's at the gas station, and I'm gonna bring these home because I thought this was only a Midwest thing, but I found them here, and I'm gonna bring these home to Zach, and then just a Coke. But I have my phone freaking popped up against here, and anyways, okay. So as we go on and I make more videos, I'll probably buy some better equipment, but just bear with me for now. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.